Narayana namaskritya Naray chaiva narottama Devam saraswatim vyasam Tato jaya mudiraye Nasta praye swabhadresu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavata mutamasloke Bhakti bhavati nastike Vede ramani chaiva purane bharati tata Adayat hade chahari savatageyate Mokam karoti vachalam prangu langrate grihi Yakripataham bande Sri Guru Dinatarine Paramananda Madhava Dhamma Prajitu Katavota Paramoni Mashram Satan Vedam Vastavam Atavasno Shivadan Tapatayo Mulana Shima Bhagavate Mahamune Kite Kimva Para Ishwara Sadhurdi Avarudate Trakripita Kishanan Atoyam Brahmasutranam Bharatata Beninaya Gayati Bhasha Rupo Shobhadata Paribrimita Sabhabidati Saraham Sri Bhakta Mishyate Tarashamitata Shati Prashana Yatya Sharati Kachi Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, Text 35. The advent of Lord Krishna. It's about Kamsa. After driving his sister Devaki, and then heard some word from the sky that her sister's son will kill him. So now Kamsa is about to take action. So Ityuktaha. Is that? Oh. This is, okay, this is 35, okay. Sa kalha papa bhojanam kulapansana bhaginim hantum arabdham khadga panihi kache agrahit utuktaha sakalha papo bhojanam kulapansanaha bhaginim hantu arabdam khadga pani kache grahit ityuktaha. Thus being addressed, Saha, he, Kamsa, Kalaha, envious, Papaha, sinful, Bhojanam, of the Bhoja dynasty, Kulapansanaha, one who can degrade the reputation of his family, Bhagnim, unto his sister, Hantu Arabdan, being inclined to kill, Kadgapani, taking a sword in his hand, Kache, hair, Agrahit, took up. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Kamsa was a condemned personality in the Bhoja dynasty because he was envious and sinful. Therefore, upon hearing this omen from the sky, he caught hold of his sister's hair with his left hand and took up his sword with his right hand to sever her head from her body. Purport. Kamsa was driving the chariot and controlling the reins with his left hand, but as soon as he heard the omen that his sister's 8th child would kill him, he gave up the reins, caught hold of his sister's hair, and with his right hand took up a sword to kill her. Before, he had been so affectionate that he was acting as his sister's chariot driver. But as soon as he heard that his self-interest or his life was at risk, he forgot all affection for her and immediately became a great enemy. This is the nature of demons. No one should trust a demon despite any amount of affection. Aside from this, a king, a politician, or a woman cannot be trusted, since they can do anything abominable for their personal interest. Chanakya Pandit therefore says, Biswaso Naiva Katabhya Sri Suraja Kule Sucha. Gurave Gurachandaya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tabbaktayo Namo Nama Agana Tremendasya Gana Gana Salakaya Chakshmita Jinatasma Shri Gurave Nama Namamo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vindu Swami Tamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurabani Pracharini Nivisasasya Bhadi Paschati Rastarika Vanchakapatrubhyascha Kripasrin Vivacha Paditana Pavanabhya Vaishnavabhyo Namo Nama. So I thank all the senior devotees who are here this morning, and all the devotees who are hearing, and those who are Vrindavan Live, TV Live. So we continue the discussion of in the Bhagavatam about the narration about the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna. This chapter 1 is especially talking about the advent of the Lord, when the Lord made his advent 5,000 years ago. So, and of course, Kamsa, he was very affectionate to, his sister, has been mentioned in this purport, to the extent that, after the wedding ceremony, he was driving her chariot to their house because of his affection to his sister. And of course, Kamsa is a great king. He was a king of. At that time, he was the leader, because even though he was a prince, he had not assumed the throne. But after he imprisoned his father, so he became the king. He was a very powerful personality. And actually it was mentioned that Kamsa, he actually had the strength of 10,000 elephants. He was a very powerful person. But he was very affectionate to his sister. So he drove her, he was on the chariot with reins. He was driving the chariot, he became the charioteer. But somehow he had this woman in the sky that, oh, Kamsa, you're such a grateful you are. The person that you are driving a chariot, that's your sister, her 8th child will kill you. So how can you be so foolish that, you are driving the chariot? Ityukta sakalapa po bojana kulapan sanaha Bhagini Hantu Arabda Kadgapani Kachegrahit. So Cancer, he heard the voice in the sky. Just like nowadays, everything is in the cloud. All the messages is in the cloud. We have iCloud, this cloud, that cloud, So of course we depend on what may come from the cloud these days. And if the cloud should crash, then it becomes a source of anxiety. So Kamsa, he heard from the cloud that your sister, her 8th child, will kill you. And of course, Kamsa, there are some specific words which describe him. Kalha means somebody who is very, very wicked. It's a very wicked fellow. It's a wicked fellow. Papo means a very sinful person. Very, very sinful. And also Bojana Kula Pansanha is someone who is the disgrace of the dynasty. It's called the disgrace of the dynasty. The Acharya said that it's someone who can drag the dynasty into the dust. So, and it mentioned in the Harivamsa that it's not that Maharaj Ugrasena was the actual father of Kamsa, because there was one time when I think Padmavati was the name of the mother of Kamsa. She was once in a garden near the mountain, near the palace. She was once in a garden, and in that garden, the demon Drumila, he took the form of Ugrasen. He assumed the form of Ugrasen, and then he had sexual intercourse with Padmavati, who was the mother of Kamsa. So, and he was the wife of Ugrasen. So he had a sexual intercourse with her because she didn't know. And then, but it was after the sexual intercourse that the demon revealed himself. So, and then the conception took place. And of course, in those days, there's no such a thing as abortion, because nowadays we still just abort the child. But such a thing didn't happen. So it was a great, calamity, of course, that she was giving this child. Actually, it's mentioned that, according to from Arivamsa, that she never really liked Kamsa. She never really liked him because the way it happened. But it has happened. The way is the faith had happened this way. Also, Nada Muni also told Kamsa about his origin, that he was actually the son of Drumila, who was the king of the demons at that particular time. So this, in this way, the cancer was appropriately named the disgrace of the family. So Kamsa, who was very, very affectionate to his sister, and was driving her wedding chariot. So he heard his voice. Okay, the 8th child of your sister who you are driving, he's going to kill you. So it's it's a very perplexing situation. Just like if any of us here, were told that somebody, your relatives, that you have been kind to, that person is going to be the cause of your death. It's like, what are we going to do? Well, it's like, so because in this world, what is most important is self-interest. No matter what kind of affection anyone we have, whatever, it's most important is a self-interest, and whenever that self-interest is disturbed, so some action is bound to be happen. So, Kamsa was told that your sister, his hatred will kill you. And of course, being a demoniac person, he did not want to take any consideration. He immediately grabbed her head, and he was ready to kill her. So it's like, because as I said, the personal interest, is much more important. Like, of course, she did. It's not that she didn't. I mean, he did not want to wait until the child was born or until the 8th year was born. He decided to just eliminate the cause of his impending death. He said, "Why not eliminate it now?" It's just like when you plant a seed for the tree to grow, and then the tree grows, and then the tree bears fruit. But at the same time, if the seed is not planted, if the seed is removed, so the tree is not going to grow, and then there'll be no fruit. So similarly also, why not remove the seed now? Why not just remove the cause of impending disaster? Just like there was a time when Indra, because Diti, she wanted to have Indra killed, Diti, because Kashyapa Muni had 2 wives, who was the father of the demigods, Diti and Aditi. So Aditi is the mother of the demigods, and Diti is the mother of the demons. So one time after Lord Vishnu had killed the sons of Diti, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, and many other demons, so Diti, she decided to take a revenge. She wanted to produce someone who would be much more powerful than Indra, so that person can kill Indra. So Indra knew that Diti, she had been performing this austerity to have him killed. So Indra had been looking for the opportunity in a way to neutralize this threat. He was looking for the opportunity. Somehow, one time, Aditi, she was asleep. She was asleep, and then some drooling coming out of her mouth. She was asleep, so Indra took advantage of that situation, because Indra he had a lot of mystic potency. So he entered the womb of Diti and killed the embryo. He didn't kill the embryo, he just cut up the embryo into 7 pieces. And these 7 pieces, they were actually alive. And then he again cut them into each of them into additional 7 pieces. So it become 49. So, and then all of a sudden, all of them, they are saying, "Hey, Indra, please, don't kill us, don't kill us." They was decrying, "Don't kill us, don't kill us." So Indra said, do not cry, Marut, that's how the Marut were born. Indra said, Marudi, do not cry. So in this way, Indra did not kill them, because they became favorable to Indra. He did not kill them. But Kamsa, he did not want to follow this, this step of Indra. He didn't want to follow that. He said, let me just kill her now. Let me just neutralize, this threat. So he grabbed her hair, the Devaki, and was ready to sever the head from her body. So this is the nature of so-called material love, because we have so-called material love and affection, which we often talk about in this world. But material love and affection, because it's based on personal interest, it's based on self-gratification, it has no duration. It does not last. It's only temporary. We talk so much of love in this material world. But in the material world, there's really no love. Because the moment the self-gratification is disturbed, then the so-called love turns to hatred. That's the reality. And especially, if you are dealing with a wicked person, the wicked persons, they may show their their so-called love, their so-called affection for some time, but because of their wicked nature, they can immediately turn deadly. Immediately, just like the Prophet was mentioning in the purport. He said, especially the so-called love of the demoniac persons. It's always, So Prabhupada said, this is the nature of demons. So therefore, because the so-called manifestation of so-called affection and love is based on that. So it's just like in the modern polity, for instance. In the modern, like for instance, Prabhupada said that no one should trust the politicians, don't trust a politician, especially. Like in politics, they often say that there is no permanent friend or there is no permanent enemy. It all depends on how the pendulum swings. Sometimes you have alliance today, but your so-called alliance, they can always turn against you, because that's the nature of the modern politics. It's all based on, what is good for oneself, So therefore, there's no such a thing as a permanent friendship or permanent enemy in the modern politics. So, because Kamsa, he had the same hand that he was used to driving his sister, driving her chariot with the rein and not with the whip. So he threw away the reins and also the whip. So with his left hand, he took, he grabbed her head, and then with the right hand, he was ready, ready to kill. So you can see the same hand that he was using to drive the chariot of a loving sister, affectionate sister, because his self-interest was disturbed, the same he was also ready to, to kill. So which basically means that the same mouth that may praise you today is the same mouth that will damn you tomorrow. And this happens everywhere, even in the spiritual society. We know in our, especially, let me just give an example. In our organization, for instance, in our movement, for instance, there are many devotees in the past who have done so many wonderful work, many preaching activities, and everyone, will be praising them that, he's such a great person, he has done so much, he's such a great devotee, this and that. And then, the moment something happened to that person, let's say that person, there is the spiritual fall, something like that, that person become the object of derision. Everybody will start, damning that person. That this is all within our experience. So basically, the same mouth that can praise you today, wow you today, is the same mouth that will damn you tomorrow. Because that is the nature of the material world. It's only in the spiritual circle, in the spiritual world, that such a thing do not happen. Actually, Lord Krishna was telling Uddhava, because in this world everyone has different samskara, everyone has particular different samskaras. So therefore, the Lord was telling Uddhava, how should a spiritualist, a spiritual practitioner, how should he maintain it? How should he carry himself forward? So the Lord said, Paraswabhava kamani na prasamse na gayatit vishwan ekatmakam pasyan prakritya purusena cha. So the Lord is saying that one should see that because of the meeting of material nature and the living entity, the universe is acting uniformly. Thus, one should neither praise nor criticize the characteristics or activities of others. So this is what the Lord says. So which means that we should not praise anyone, nor should we criticize anyone. Don't praise and don't criticize. So in this way, you will always maintain equilibrium. Because the same person that you are praising today, the same person you will end up criticizing tomorrow. Because, that is the nature of material world. So therefore the Lord said, don't criticize, don't praise, and don't criticize anyone. It's just like in the story of Ramachandra Puri. So Ramachandra Puri, who was the godbrother of Chaitanya Prabhu's spiritual master, Ishwara Puri. So Ramachandra Puri, he had a habit of going around and just criticizing everyone. Because Ramachandra Puri was such a person, he will go to a Vaishnava's house and he will feel that Vaishnava, nice prasad. And then when that person finish eating, then he'll be criticizing that same person. So that says, oh, see, you are eating so much. You are eating so much. When Ramachandra Puri, when he went to Jagannath Puri, so he wanted to find fault with the devotees. First he went to Jagannatha, so he fed him so much prasad, and then he was criticizing and say, I've heard that you followers of Chaitanya, all of you eat so much, you cannot control your senses, and I cannot see this myself. And then after some time, then he went to Sri Chaitanya Prabhu. So when he went to Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, and then when he went there, I think the Lord just finished taking his meal. And that time, so he saw some ants crawling on the ground. He saw some ants. And then he said, oh, I can see this sannyasi, he eats so much, he eats a lot of sweet, and that's why so many ants are crawling all over the places. So what kind of sannyasi is this? So he was criticizing Chaitanya Prabhu, this way. And of course, because Mahaprabhu, he sees Ramachandra Puri as the godbrother of his spiritual master. So therefore, Mahaprabhu did not, but he simply told Govinda that he said, from today on, my food, I only want a small portion of my food. Don't bring me more. Just give me only a very small portion of my food from today on. And if you should bring more, I will leave this place. So Mahaprabhu, he gave such a stern warning to Govinda. And when all the devotees heard this, that Chaitanya Prabhu has stopped eating, as the way he would, so all the devotees, they were like, it's like a big mental agony for them. That, what is this? The Lord has stopped eating. Like 1/4 of the portion that the Lord will not normally eat. This what will happen. So, and of course, all the Vaishnavas, they were going to Mahaprabhu say that, why are you taking this serious? Don't listen to Ramachandra Puri. But Mahaprabhu, he simply said that, Ramachandra Puri, he is simply saying the dharma of the sannyasis. So therefore, I have to stop, I have to follow the dharma of the sannyasis. Even like Paramananda Puri, who was the godbrother of Ramachandra Puri, he went to Mahaprabhu. He said that, look, my godbrother is a non-critic. Why you have to listen to him? He's a non-critic. He's used to do this. Even though the Lord, like for instance, was quoting this verse, even though Lord Krishna said that, one should neither criticize, one should neither praise or not criticize the activities of a person. But my grandmother, he would neglect the first one, but he would do the second one. The first one is not to praise, and the second one is not to criticize. He would rather criticize someone. So therefore, Paramananda Puri was saying that no, stop, and start eating. Don't listen to my god brother. But still, Chaitanya Prabhu was very, very strict. He said no. I will, I will follow this. He even told the devotees that even after Ramachandra Puri, even after he left Jagannath Puri, when he finally left away, and when he left, all the devotees were very, very relieved that he had gone away. So the Lord is saying that, why is all of you criticizing Ramachandra Puri? Whatever he said, he said the right thing. He said exactly what should be the duty of the sannyasis. So anyway, this is just the thing that I'm just bringing this point just to illustrate, some of the things that comes from such a person, whereby being very wicked and also a sinful person, because without any consideration, when he heard the omen that the eighth child of his sister will kill him, immediately ready to take action, immediately ready to kill the sister, without even giving the thought that, okay, maybe I should wait for some time, maybe there should be some deliberation. But no, because the sinful people, the wicked people, they do things without shame. They do things without shame. They just do things, just for the sake of it, they don't even give a consideration of what people will think. That if I do this action, what will people think of my action? So the wicked people, they don't have such consideration. They just do things without what would be the public opinion. So therefore, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Prabhupada said, he said, the affection of wicked people is so savage that it even disregards any concept of public shame. So that's what it means. It's advised that actually one should not make friendship or enemy with those who are wicked. Do not make friendship or enmity with the wicked persons, because in either way it can always turn in a adversity. So as I mentioned, so the so-called affection of wicked person is always dangerous, because the wicked persons, the demoniac persons, they only after their own self-interest. That's what they're after, nothing else. And of course, we are going to read from the next verse on how Vasudev, saying that the Kamsa was ready to kill, his sister. Yet his wife, which was supposed to be the sister of Kamsa, was ready to kill. But Kamsa is being described as Mahabhaga, very great personality. So he had to act in such a way that this action of Kamsa does not fructify. He had to act in such a way, So therefore, as we're going to read in the following verses, how Kamsa, he had to take a very strong diplomatic role just to prevent the calamity of having Devaki killed, by praising Kamsa, praising him that, oh, you're such a great person. How can you do, if you do such a thing, what will people think? So in this way, but still, the demoniac persons, they are very, very hard to place, very, very difficult to place. As we go, so it's a very, very interesting section of the Bhagavatam, of hearing this, when Kamsa, when you hear this voice from the sky, that his eighth child will kill him. So I'm going to stop here, and maybe Maharaj should give some comment about this discussion, and also Prabhu. Yeah, some comment. Oh, they did not. I'm sorry.
Krishna is in charge of everything. Why were the demigods in a voice from the sky tell Kamsa that Devaki, was going to be his mother, the eighth son's going to kill him, and obviously they're going to be tortured and maybe Krishna want to increase the drama? Or, I mean, Krishna's in charge, the demigods are servants of Krishna, so why would the demigods tell Kamsa knowing, and then Narada Muni tells Kamsa that, you know, kill all the kids that are born any of this time? It seems kind of cruel, doesn't it?
It's quite inconceivable that the demigods, you know, they play that role of inciting Kamsa, you know, hey, kill, these are your enemies, you know, it's kill.
The devotees of Krishna were doing this. Why?
Maybe you have the better answer to that.
Well, you didn't give an answer, so what better answer can I give? What's your experience?
As I say, you know, it's
Marge, I can see he has inspiration on this.
okay.
But demigods were present there in the sky, witnessing the marriage procession. So one point they become very desperate. They saw that Kamsa is a demoniac person.
Mm-hmm.
But now he started to serve. Devaki was there, rendering service.
Yeah.
So demigod become very much anxiety that if he will serve the parents of Krishna, then Krishna may appear Krishna, but he will not kill Kamsa, because he has served by parents. So Kamsa will not kill. Besides, they wanted to, apparently, superficially, he was serving Devaki and was there. But the heart was not so good. Very cruel person. Demigod wanted to reveal the proper mentality of Kamsa. So, and also they were very much, they wanted to deprive him, take out from Vaishnava service. If he will do that, then Krishna will be obliged to, he will not be certain. So desperately, they wanted, then Kamsa should be killed.
Yeah.
They were thinking that even Krishna may appear, that he will consider no, they Kamsa has served by parents. But he has to kill him. He will not. So for that reason they have taken on. But they wanted to deprive Kamsa from the service. If we do service, then he will not be destroyed. Krishna will not. For that reason they.
Yeah, that's a great answer.
Otherwise, what not? If they would have kept it quiet, everything was okay, nice thing was. Due to this Akashvani, whole situation was disturbed. 6 sons of Devaki were killed because of this thing.
Yeah.
They wanted to see Krishna. One reason also that if Kamsa will serve, he should continue to serve the parents, then Krishna will not appear. Why he should appear?
Yeah, exactly.
Parikrana sadhunam, their sadhu are served very nicely, then why he should come?
Yeah, why should he appear? Yeah.
Parikrana sadhunam.
Yeah.
Sadhu are given nice service, reception and respect, and why he should come? He will not appear.
Yeah.
So there should be some disturbance on the part of Vaishnava. If they will be tortured,
Then Krishna will come, yeah. Yeah, and Narada Muni kept coming to because he said that, you know. Yeah.
I have another question.
Okay.
We should not praise or criticize. Like when the Lord Chaitanya returned from his South Indian trip and he saw Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, I've been all over to many holy places, I've not seen a more saintly Vaishnava than you. Of course, I did enjoy my talk with Ramananda Roy. So it seems as though he's praising him. Lord Chaitanya is praising Sarvabhauma. I've not seen a better Vaishnava than you. I've been all over South India. So what do you mean by not praising and not criticizing?
Well, on the part of the sadhakas, you know, Just like I gave the example of sometimes we praise many devotees, and when those devotees, when they have some spiritual difficulty, then we start damning them. So for sadhakas, yeah, because the same mouth that is praising someone, the same mouth is damning them. So therefore, the Lord said, do not praise or criticize. So, and of course, Sarvabhauma is a perfected devotee. He's a topmost. He's not an honorary Vaishnava. So he's not a sadhaka. He's a perfect person, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So therefore, Mahaprabhu interacting with him in this way, and at the same time also we know that when Krishna Das, who was traveling with him, and Krishna Das went off with the gypsies. So when Mahaprabhu brought him back to Puri, he may say, okay, this fellow, he has done this, get him out of here. I don't want him around me anymore. So the Lord have such roles. So which means the Lord have certain roles with his pure Vaishnavas, who actually is eternal associates, versus those who are just like sadhakas. So Lord Krishna himself is advising Uddhava, because that every living entity has got different samskaras. So the Lord telling Uddhava that do not criticize or praise anyone. Yeah, of course, we give glory to all the Vaishnava all the time. That is there. But the point is that how do we avoid criticizing those we have praised? How do we avoid that? So that's the question. It's a very tough thing. It's a tough logic, of course. Kamsa was, he was driving his sister, and then he was ready to kill her immediately. So that consideration is there. Is that a good, Prabhu? Maharaj, is that a good example? You want to add something, Prabhu? So it's a good Prabhu want to add something. So it's it's of course, it's a lot of things we're going to be learning towards the end of this chapter, and then the next chapter, of course, when the demigods start praying to Lord Krishna, Jai. Grant us Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.